Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. I've been a trader for 8 years now, and let's go look at what happened today. Let me make this a little bit smaller so you can look at the charts. So Netflix has earnings right now, and looks like they had a rev beat, but they missed on EPS. The anticipated move was $40. We've made that move, and now we're pulling back a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what the next move is on Netflix. 543.27 would be the 0.707 retrace from the 2021 high to the 2022 low. So that may be a target area. Let's see. And it's all about subscriber growth, and it's all about the phone call as well. So let's see what happened with ES today. So we started the day with an 8-hour bull flag. We never quite broke the overnight high of 4898, but this is still very bullish. I started out the morning pointing out the hourly EMAs were offering support, and as long as that was the case, the bulls were in control. Look at this squeeze that we've had all day on ES. NASDAQ, same thing. Look at this squeeze all day. 8-hour bull flag. So we weren't rolling over. One disappointment this morning that we were gapping up on IWM, and they gave a lot of that back and closed red. So they had a big day yesterday, and they gave a lot of it back. I wouldn't call this a healthy breather. It wasn't a sideways action like NQ and ES did earlier today. And then we had VIX. VIX did some very odd things today. Typically, when you have a move down in the market, so if we just go to ES 2-minute, you have a move down in the market, these little moves here, typically you get a little spike in the VIX. We got no spike in the VIX. It was just like a deflated balloon letting out air all day long. So people aren't buying insurance, at least in VIX. They're not buying insurance there. They could be buying puts and SPY and QQQ and their relative names, but this was a very odd behavior by the VIX today. Typically, when you see the market move down even a little bit, you'll see a little spike in VIX, and we just did not get that today. So 8-hour bull flags possibly confirming overnight with this Netflix beat. And I did want to share, we have Tesla earnings after hours tomorrow. We have data tomorrow. We have GDP Thursday, PCE Friday. And again, we never lost those hourly EMAs. The dollar was surprisingly strong today, and yet the market was shaking it off. So we got a daily bull break on the dollar. We got over 103.692, and we didn't get a ton of follow through. It was a look above and fell. And it has me looking for a potential 2-week bear flag on the dollar if this remains the case, that look above and fell, and then we continue to just roll to the downside. That could be good for market bulls. And I'm looking for the same situation with VIX, the potential 2-hour bear flag as well. Bitcoin, we started off the day really weak on Bitcoin. It had a decent bounce on the hourly, but we have not recovered and gotten above the EMAs. If we look at the med table, the med table from this morning, everything looked pretty green except for the dollar strength was inverse to the market and Bitcoin was inverse to the market. So everything was mostly green except for those two things. We were able to shake off Bitcoin weakness, and we were able to shake off dollar strength. All right, gold was sideways most of the day, which that's bullish divergence considering how strong the dollar was. So we still haven't been able to get over this daily 50 MA yet on gold. 4-hour is really sideways in an EQ. I don't know if they're waiting on data, and we have the FOMC interest rate decision next week, which will impact gold. We have oil potential 2-week bear flags. So we have lots of 2-week bear flags out there on dollar, VIX, and oil. And I'm saying potential, it's not confirmed. But on oil, I was looking short today. We had a rising wedge that I pointed out to the room on the 4-hour back here, and we keep rejecting from that line. We have API estimates after hours today in 22 minutes, actually. So we couldn't get through the 75.46, and then we rejected, and we're now looking for an hourly lower high on oil. Apple maintained those EMAs all day long. I mean, it closed kind of sideways, but overall it had relative strength today in that it did not breach the low of the prior day like some names did. Marijuana. So marijuana, we went sideways most of the day. This double bottom of 843 continued to be a good place to bottom fish. And MSOS, the more I follow this closely, I see why it's such a favorable trading instrument. It really respects the technical levels. So I will be watching this again tomorrow. I got a long off this 843 and flipped it for 10 cents. So I'm going to be looking for this. Well, I'm sorry, over here I did that. So I like it. We're still looking for a daily lower high unless we have news. But daily inside bar is how we're closing. Nvidia had a very strong day. I thought at open that bears had the advantage with that big pull down, but man, those bulls recovered so nicely. And look at the hourly chart. No damage was done. Held the EMAs, long lower wick of bulls buying the dip, and look at that high compression squeeze. So I'm watching for potential continuation on Nvidia tomorrow. I know some of us, including me, have been looking for top fish in semiconductors, but these charts are just so strong. We just have to stay with the trend. Tesla was super weak. We closed with a potential hourly bear flag. It's like the owners do not want to hold this into earnings tomorrow after hours. Okay, going through my notes. SMH was a major source of market strength today. We weren't able to get over the prior day high, but we pulled down at open with Nvidia, and then it was just a slow, steady grind up the rest of the day. All right, I wanted to cover DWAC. It had this 30-minute EQ. I posted this in chat this morning, and it broke bull in a big way. A lot of our members got it. It was a very big move. Still looking for continued volatility in DWAC tomorrow. Snow was my queen of the mountain trade. I pointed it out now on Saturday's video or Sunday's video for members, yesterday in pregame, yesterday on all 4 videos that I did, and this morning on pregame. This was my queen of the mountain trade with this squeeze. Snow is known to be powerful. Once it got over that 202.83, it had a wonderful move. So we closed up near the high of day. I would have felt better about it had it taken out the high of day, but bulls have nothing to be ashamed of here. Affirm, this is a queen of the mountain trade as well, and we were looking for a top fish against this 45.91 intraday level from yesterday, and that came in beautifully. We are looking for a daily high or low on Affirm, so if I posted in chat, if you took that short, I'd be scaling out a little bit as we approach hourly oversold as we look for a daily high or low. Microsoft was my third major queen of the mountain trade. They had news this morning. They had an upgrade. They gave some back at open, which Microsoft likes to do, and then they closed really strong. So this was a wonderful close for Microsoft, unable to get over 400 psych. SMCI had a wonderful close today as well. It just continues to have these, I was going to say baller moves, but it's true, baller moves. It's just a very strong stock with really power moves. And then finally, Plug had some news this morning, and they have a little bit of a short squeeze going. Their short float is 30%. I recognize they're up 31% today, but their short float is 31%. You may be able to get a back burner out of this looking for a daily higher low. Let me look at my notes. Oh, the FXI mean reversion trade, that worked for us. We've been looking at that. I talked about it yesterday. And then the other thing I wanted to look at was XLY. Amazon and Tesla were so weak today. It had a decent recovery with this midday inverse head and shoulders, broke bull, but overall consumer discretionary has been a laggard in these other big bull moves. So I'm looking for Amazon and Tesla to step up, and that may take earnings for that to happen. All right, that's it for the market recap.